It's that cold, sinking feeling in your stomach. The moment you realize you've made a terrible snap judgment. You sent the angry email. You trusted the wrong person. You swerved the car based on an assumption that was disastrously wrong. It's a decision made in a flash, costing you time, money, or dignity. But then there is the opposite, the utter paralysis of overthinking. You've spent an hour comparing brands of olive oil, agonizing over a simple choice until your mind is exhausted. One mind, two extremes. This isn't a personal failing. This is a psychological conflict. And today, we are performing the autopsy. When we perform this autopsy, we find our mind isn't a single unified entity. Instead, it's run by two very different agents, a concept brilliantly detailed by the Nobel Prize winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman. For our purposes, we can think of them as two distinct characters living in our heads. First, you have System 1. This is the star of the show. It's your fast-thinking, intuitive, automatic pilot. It operates effortlessly, generating the impressions, feelings, and gut reactions that guide most of your life. When you instantly know the answer to 2 plus 2, recognize a friend's face in a crowd, or feel a jolt of fear when a car horn blares, that is System 1. It's a magnificent and ancient evolutionary tool designed for rapid survival. But it has a profound flaw. System 1 is, as Kahneman describes, a machine for jumping to conclusions. It relies on shortcuts and biases to achieve its incredible speed. It simplifies complex realities, substitutes easy questions for hard ones, and builds a coherent, believable story based on very little information. It is the source of our impulsive judgments and our most ingrained prejudices. Then there is System 2. This is your slow-thinking, analytical, conscious self. This is the mind you think you are. System 2 is the one that engages when you have to solve a complex math problem like 17 times 24, parse a difficult argument, or consciously focus your attention. It is rational, deliberate, and capable of overriding the impulsive suggestions of System 1. Here is the central problem. System 2 is lazy. It takes real cognitive energy, real metabolic cost to engage it. Our brains are cognitive misers, and we default to the effortless path of System 1 whenever possible. System 2 is a powerful but reluctant supporting actor, often content to lazily endorse the stories that System 1 feeds it. This is the root of the trap. Our intuitive pilot is flying the plane, but it's often using a map that is dangerously incomplete.
Let's see this in action with a test that Daniel Kahneman himself famously used. Take a moment and answer this. A bat and a ball cost $1.10 in total. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? For an overwhelming majority of people, the number that instantly springs to mind is 10 cents. It feels right. It's clean, simple, and immediate. That is your System 1 providing a fast, intuitive, and deeply confident answer. And it is completely wrong. If the ball costs 10 cents and the bat costs $1 more, the bat would be $1.10. The total would be $1.20. The correct answer, which your lazy System 2 must be forced to calculate, is 5 cents. A 5-cent ball and a $1.05 bat. This isn't a trick question. It's a diagnostic tool. It perfectly illustrates System 1's habit of substituting an easy calculation, splitting $1.10 into $1.10, for the slightly harder one that was actually asked. It shows us how System 2, our lazy supervisor, simply endorsed the first answer without checking the math. This flaw isn't just for brain teasers. It operates in the most critical parts of our lives, particularly in our judgments of other people. I have to admit, this mechanism is responsible for one of my most significant professional misjudgments. Years ago, I was assigned to a high-stakes project with a new team leader. The moment I met him, my System 1 went into overdrive. He was quiet, his feedback was incredibly blunt, and he didn't engage in the usual small talk. My System 1, pulling from a lifetime of stereotypes, instantly generated a story. This person is arrogant, cold, and doesn't respect the team. For the first 2 weeks, I operated entirely on that assumption. I was guarded in meetings. I interpreted his concise emails as hostile. I was, in short, treating my own biased narrative as objective fact. My System 2 was completely offline, having lazily accepted my gut feeling. The turning point came during a crisis. A major deliverable failed, and we had to work through the night. The pressure was immense. And in that moment, the arrogant leader I had constructed in my mind vanished. He was calm, supportive, and methodically brilliant. His bluntness wasn't arrogance, it was a total focus on the problem with no ego. His coldness was simply an introvert's way of processing. When I finally saw the truth, I felt a wave of profound shame. My System 1, in its rush to create a simple label, had almost cost me the chance to learn from one of the most capable people I've ever known. We've all been there. We let a first impression dictate a relationship, only to find out, often too late, that our initial story was a work of fiction.
That feeling of shame I mentioned is a powerful teacher. It taught me that my gut instinct, while powerful, is not infallible. It's a first draft, not a final verdict. So how do we edit that draft in real time? How do we build a playbook to manage this cognitive conflict? The goal is not to get rid of System 1. That's impossible. It's our survival mechanism. The goal is to recognize when System 1 is most likely to be wrong and to deliberately engage System 2. Our first tool is what I call the cognitive pause. System 1 thrives on speed and emotion. When you feel a strong emotional reaction, anger, defensiveness, anxiety, even sudden certainty, that is your alarm bell. That is the signal that System 1 has taken the wheel. The cognitive pause is the act of deliberately inserting a moment of friction. It can be as simple as taking one deep breath before replying to that email, or saying, "Let me think about that and get back to you." This pause is a circuit breaker. It's just enough time to ask one question that force activates System 2. What assumptions am I making right now? Our second tool is one of Kahneman's most powerful concepts, using the outside view. When we make a judgment, like my biased assessment of my team leader, we are using the inside view. We're basing our conclusion entirely on the specific, limited information right in front of us. The outside view forces us to ignore the specifics and ask a different question. What happens in most cases like this? In my situation, instead of "this man is arrogant," the outside view question would have been, in general, what are the common reasons a new leader might be quiet and blunt? The answers would have been obvious. They're an introvert, they're focused under pressure,
Or maybe they just have a different communication style. Suddenly, my single negative story becomes one of many possibilities. This technique forces us to consult data and base rates rather than just our own feelings, and it is one of the most effective ways to de-bias our own judgments. These tools aren't magic, they're skills. They're the mental equivalent of lifting weights, and they require practice, patience, and a willingness to be wrong. Section 5. This work of spotting our own cognitive illusions is difficult. It can feel isolating, but it's a burden that becomes much lighter when we share it. This channel is designed to be a space for that collective work, a place to destigmatize the normal human flaws in our own thinking. So I have one question for you. Think of your own life. What is one specific, recurring situation where you can feel your System 1 intuition consistently getting it wrong? Share your story in the comments. By reading each other's experiences, we move from isolated judgment to community resilience. We're not just decoding our shortcuts, we're building better maps together.